Hey, welcome to the Sacred Fame Podcast. My name is Kasia Rachfall. So excited to be here with you today talking about purpose. I hate this question. What's my purpose? I hate it, and I'll share with you exactly why. This is a very polarizing topic. I get that. You may totally disagree with what I have to say. You might agree with me. I don't know. I love to have debates. I love to have these conversations because that's the only way we grow, right? Is if we can put things on the table, look at them from every side, and see, what perspectives there are. So, I've been working with the Akashic Records since 2014. I didn't always do it in a professional way. I started out, just for myself. And then for the last 6 years, I've been doing readings for others. And I also teach a course on how to read the records for yourself and for others. And so this purpose question comes up a lot in my work. As you know, the whole idea of sacred fame is about being seen and heard for who you are in the world. Not just fame for fame's sake, but fame for impact and influence and positive transformation in our world. That's part of my purpose, is to have conversation, to create a container, to create a safe space for those coaches, healers, creatives, helpers, people who want to be famous for the work they do in the world. But again, not just famous for famous sakes. They want to have purposeful fame. And so there again is that word. It's a word that has become this buzzword, this pervasive idea in the personal development, especially the spirituality infused personal development world, because, what's my purpose sounds like a really noble quest. To go out there and find the one thing that you are here to either do or be or have like life purpose sounds amazing. If I only knew what it was, then everything else would be fine. Would it though? Let's talk about that. There's a reason why I'm so passionate about this idea, because it comes up in so many of my client sessions. I do private readings. I work with people, in an ongoing fashion where we really dive deep into who you are, what you're here to do, who you're here to serve. And I can tell you that since 2014 that I've been working with the records, they have shared a lot with me about this idea of purpose. And there's a few things that they keep underlining over and over and over, no matter who's in front of me and what they're asking about it. There's a few themes that I have come to understand about our purpose. So again, I could be totally off base, but it's just I'm going off of the common denominators that have shown up in my coaching practice and my healing practice for the last many, many years. So this is why I hate the question, what's my purpose? Because you have more than one. Now, what the Akashic Records say is our main purpose, every human's purpose, is to thin the veil between our soul self and our human self. And so let's look at it from this perspective. If you subscribe to the idea that our soul is a piece of the universe, it's like a frequency in the all that is. And the all that is pure creative potential and absolute love. That means the soul resides in the all that is, in absolute love. So our soul is love, right? It by logic or whatever. That's what I believe. And through working with the records, through connecting with those energies, the love that you feel when you're in that place of connection is like nothing you've ever felt before. It's indescribable in words. I wish there were words in our languages that we could use to describe it. But let's say the soul is love. An aspect of your soul incarnates into a body. And when this body becomes a human body and you're born and you live your life, you are a sovereign being. You make a lot of different choices, decisions. You have all kinds of different experiences. As you live your life, you may disconnect from that energy of love, or you may connect to it. And it's a spectrum, right? Your life experiences cause you to feel a certain way, think a certain way, do certain things, have certain behaviors. And so as you're living your life, are you being loving to yourself and to others and to the world? So are you embodying the love that your soul is as your human self? Whatever you're doing in that respect, you are fulfilling that purpose, right? So our only real big sort of purpose with a capital P is to thin the veil between our soul self and our human self. And every experience, every single experience, good or bad, is an invitation to do that. It's not easy. Okay, it sounds simple, but it's not easy. So there we go. That's the main sort of purpose of being alive. Like everyone's life purpose is to live their life. That's it. There's your little sentence. There's your nice little phrase wrapped up with a bow. The purpose of your life is to live your life. Underneath that, there are many other ways to look at purpose. So you have more than one. And if we could step out of that idea that we only have one grand, purpose around like what we're here to do or be, and that thing is supposed to tell us who we're supposed to be or what we're supposed to do or how we're supposed to feel about ourselves, there's a lot less pressure. Wouldn't you agree? Or maybe you disagree. But I find that when I was able to embrace the fact that, okay, so if my purpose here is to live my life and to thin the veil between my soul self and my human self, then really the only purpose is love. However I get there, however you get there, right? What we get to do in terms of a job or a vocation, a career, what we get to create or uncreate or change or transform, how we choose to relate, how we choose to show up, become, or who we choose to become, how we choose to change and redirect and pivot in our life, that's all part of that bigger idea. But none of those smaller things are the grand purpose in and of itself or in and of themselves. So if you feel like you're stuck in this box of not feeling good about yourself or not feeling confident about what you're doing in your life or who you're being in your life because you feel like you don't have a purpose, step back a little bit. Take a few steps up, like a bird's eye view of, are you being loving to yourself and to others and to the world? Because if you are, then you are automatically fulfilling your purpose. Are you living your life? Of course. Then you are automatically fulfilling your purpose. Do you have a job or a career or a direction, or perhaps you used to, but now you don't, but you're looking for something else? Of course, you're fulfilling your purpose by asking those questions, by sometimes falling down and then getting back up again, by experiencing failures and then getting back up again, by learning, by growing, by expanding, evolving, even if sometimes it feels like you're going backwards. By living your life and taking the invitations to love yourself more, you are fulfilling your purpose. You can't not fulfill your purpose. So this is, again, I hate that question, what's my purpose? Because you are doing it no matter what. You can't not do it. And so I would invite you to ask yourself that question instead of what's my purpose, and then going down some sort of rabbit hole, feeling like you don't have it, so you should feel bad about yourself. And I find there's just too many teachings and too many ideas out there that make us feel bad about ourselves. I think it's BS. Instead of asking what's my purpose, start asking yourself, how do I know I'm already fulfilling it? Because truly, how would you know that you're not? What would be the evidence to show you without a doubt that you're not fulfilling it? There is no such evidence, right? Yes, sometimes we hit massive roadblocks and obstacles in our life, and things get freaking hard. Sometimes life is unfair, sometimes life is hard, it hurts. Sometimes it's blissful and joyful and the most abundant, right? And it's everything in between. All of that, no matter if it's hard or blissful, doesn't mean that you're not fulfilling your purpose. And so it's an interesting question. It's an interesting idea, this whole, idea about purpose. If you're living your life, I guarantee you are fulfilling your purpose. Now, can we dive more in depth into that? Yes. It's part of the work I do with people through the Akashic Records, through the soul agreement work that I do, is we look more specifically. We can look at, like, for example, in the area of your career or your work, we can drill down and get specific. We can look at, relationships. What is the purpose of a certain relationship? Or, that type of thing. Yes, you can get more specific, but that is not the end all be all purpose. It's simply an aspect of who you are. It's and if you don't know what it is, that doesn't negate you. That doesn't make you less worthy or less valuable, right? Or doesn't make you not enough. You are whole, enough, worthy. You are divine. Just because you exist, you are fulfilling your purpose. And I just want everyone to hear that. I want you to take that, or don't listen to me. I'm not telling you what to do. That's not my job here. I invite you to take this perspective of just because you are fulfilling your purpose, right? You don't have to know it in detail in order to be fulfilling it, because you are. Your soul incarnated so that it could grow and expand through its experiences as a human being, right? That you're doing it. You're doing it. And so I invite you to give yourself permission to be enough. Give yourself permission to embody your wholeness, your worthiness. Embody your absolute amazingness as a human being. You are doing your purpose. You are fulfilling your purpose. You're doing it just by living your life. So there, end of rant. End of rant. I'm getting off the soapbox now. If you have comments, questions, if you have a different perspective about this, I would love to hear it, because this is where I've gotten with the idea of purpose. And I know it's a polarizing topic, and I'm happy to chat about it because I think it's important. From what I've seen in my work, it creates such roadblocks for so many people. And I want to remove those roadblocks. I want to help people jump over them or go around them. I don't want purpose to be an issue. That's why I'm having this conversation now, especially at the beginning of the year, right? A lot of people are thinking about, like, what do I want to change? What do I want to create? Don't worry about your purpose. You're doing it. All right? There. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you next time.